The world loves a free man, not because they respect him, but because they can use him. If you are accessible, you get consumed. If you are always available, you get taken for granted. If you keep giving your time, your loyalty, and your energy without any price tag, do not be surprised when people treat you like a discount item at a clearance sale. There is a brutal rule that runs human relationships, and it does not care about your good heart. It is the rule of supply and demand. When the supply of you is high, when you are always there, always replying, always helping, always nodding, the demand for you drops to zero. You become like oxygen, important maybe, but free, and nobody pays for air until they are choking on nothing. Machiavelli, the man who understood power better than anyone, knew this centuries ago. He warned that a prince who is too generous, too open, and too easy to reach gets looked down upon eventually. He is seen as weak, he is seen as common, and common things get thrown away. You have spent your whole life trying to be liked. You were taught that if you give more, you will get more back. That is a lie. That is the thinking taught to workers, not the strategy whispered to kings. The real truth is darker. Humans only value what costs them something. They only value what they are scared of losing. They only value what is not easy to get. So to take your power back, you have to stop being free. You have to become a luxury item in a world full of cheap stuff. But how do you put a price on yourself when you have bills to pay and people to deal with? I am going to show you exactly that. We are going to break down the psychology of value. We are going to apply the rules of luxury to your own personality. By the end of this video, you will understand why being a little difficult is actually a strength, and why being expensive is the only real way to be free. But first, you have to be honest with yourself. You are on sale right now, and it is time to close the store. Phase 1, the paradox of value. Why water is free and diamonds are expensive. Adam Smith, the father of economics, once asked a question that explains your entire social life. Why is water, the thing that keeps you alive, basically free? And why are diamonds, which are completely useless, so crazy expensive? The answer is scarcity. Water is everywhere. It falls from the sky. It runs through rivers. Because it is all around you, you take it for granted. You wash your hands with it. You flush it down the toilet. You waste it without thinking. Diamonds are rare. They are hard to find. They need real effort and struggle to pull out of the ground. Because they are scarce, people worship them. People fight over them. People starve themselves to buy one. Now look at your own life. Are you water or are you a diamond? The nice guy, the yes man, the always available friend. He is water. He is important to everyone around him. They need him to listen to their problems. They need him to do the heavy work. They need him to make them feel good about themselves. But because he flows so freely, they flush him. They cancel plans with him last minute because they know he will not get upset. They pay him less because they know he will not push back. They dump all their emotional garbage on him because they know he will take it. He thinks he is being a good person. In reality, he has flooded the market with his own presence. He has created too much supply of himself. To become expensive, you have to become a diamond. This means you have to become useless to people who cannot afford you. That is a hard shift. It means you have to kill the part of you that needs approval right now. You have to be okay with being called distant. You have to be okay with being called arrogant. Thorstein Veblen, the thinker who came up with the idea of showing off through spending, pointed out that people earn status not by what they do, but by what they can afford to waste. When you are expensive, you show the world that you can afford to waste other people's approval. You do not need their validation to feel okay. That signals high value. Start today. Look at your own habits. How fast do you reply to messages? How often do you say yes to things you actually hate? How much time do you spend listening to people who never once ask how you are doing? Every instant reply is a coupon you are handing out for free. Every sure, no problem is a discount you are giving away. Stop it. Create a shortage of yourself. Let them feel the thirst. When you pull back your supply, you force them to realize what they had. When water stops flowing, people do not just shrug. They panic. They check the pipes. They call for help. They are suddenly willing to pay anything to get it back. Be the drought. Phase 2. The velvet rope. The art of friction. Walk past a high-end nightclub. Walk past a luxury store like Hermes. What do you see? You see a line. You see a bouncer. You see a locked door. You see barriers everywhere. Now walk past a Walmart. The doors slide open on their own. The lights are bright. Everyone is welcome. Which one do you actually respect? Which one do you dress up for? We value things that resist us. This is a psychological thing called effort justification. When you have to work hard for something, your brain decides it must be worth a lot. When you get something without any effort, your brain assumes it is cheap. You have been living with automatic doors your whole life. You let anyone into your head. You let anyone into your schedule. You are a Walmart. You need to put up a velvet rope. You need to add some friction. Friction is the skill of being just hard enough to reach that the low-value people filter themselves out. But interesting enough, that the high-value people will make the effort to get in. How do you actually do this? First, make no your default answer. Most people say yes unless they have a reason not to. Flip that completely. Your default has to be no, unless someone gives you a real reason to say yes. When someone asks for your time, a favor, or a meeting, the first answer is silence. Then maybe, then only if it actually makes sense for you. A yes. That pause is not you being rude. It is you showing the world that your time is already taken. It means you have a purpose bigger than just serving them. Second, make people qualify themselves. Never let someone into your close circle just because they showed up. Watch them first. Test them on small things. If they talk badly about others, they will talk badly about you too. Keep the rope up. If a client wants to work with you, do not just grab the money. Make them go through a process. Make them fill something out. Make them wait a week. This sounds like you will lose business. You will lose some. You will lose the cheap ones. You will lose the ones who are going to drain you anyway. But the real players, the ones who understand value, they will respect the rope. They will see the barrier and think there must be something worth protecting in there if he guards it this hard. Machiavelli said a prince should be slow to believe and slow to move. Do not jump at everything. Let them wait in line. Let them wonder if they are going to make it in. The anxiety of will he accept me creates a rush when you finally do say yes. If you accept everyone immediately, there is no rush. There is no pull. You are not being mean. You are taking care of who gets into your life. You are making sure that the only people inside your circle are the ones who actually earned it. Phase 3. The tax of silence. Information is currency. Information is power. And like any currency, when you print too much of it, it loses its value. The more you talk, the cheaper your words become. The free man is an open book. He tells his whole life story on the first meeting. He explains his plans to his co-workers. He vents to his neighbors. He posts every thought and feeling on social media. He is printing his own currency non-stop. And because he tells everyone everything, he has no mystery, no leverage, no power. To be expensive, you have to become a vault. You have to make people pay for your information. This is the law of concealment. Machiavelli wrote that everyone sees what you appear to be, but very few experience who you really are. Keep who you really are behind a wall. In conversations, practice the 80-20 rule. Let them talk 80% of the time. You speak 20%. And when you do speak, do not explain yourself. Just state things. I am moving to a new city. Oh, why? Is it for work? It is time for a change. Full stop. No long explanation. No justification. Justifying yourself is the language of someone lower in the chain. The boss gives orders. The employee explains everything. When you hold back details, people fill in the blanks themselves. They project their own imagination onto you. They assume you have a big plan going on. They assume you are deeper than you let on. You become a puzzle they cannot solve. And the human mind is completely hooked on unsolved puzzles. Think about the most magnetic people in history. They all had that quality of being slightly out of reach. You felt like you knew them, but there was always a part of them you could not touch. That distance is the price tag. It tells the world you can see the display, but you cannot touch what is inside. Stop oversharing. Stop posting your emotional breakdowns online. Stop telling people your next move before you have made it. Silence creates a gap, and in that gap, your value goes up. People will start leaning in. They will start wanting your opinion because you give it so rarely. When the quiet person finally speaks, the whole room pays attention. When the loud person speaks, people check their phones. Be the voice that costs something to hear. Phase 4, the price of emotional control. Now we go deeper. We have talked about time, access, and words, but the most expensive thing you own is your emotional reaction. Low-value people are reactive, cheap. You push a button and they explode. You insult them and they break down. You compliment them and they light up like a kid. They are basically vending machines. Put in a coin of stimulus and get out a reaction. They have zero control over themselves. They are run by whatever is happening around them. To be expensive is to be non-reactive. It is what the Stoics called apatheia. Not being empty inside, but being free from being shaken by everything around you. It is the ability to look at chaos and stay completely calm. Why is this expensive? Because it takes enormous energy to control your own reactions. When someone disrespects you, your brain screams attack. To override that requires real discipline. It requires a person who has genuinely worked on themselves. When you do not react to an insult, you flip the power dynamic. The person insulting you wanted a reaction. That was the whole point of what they did. If you deny them that, you deny them the whole transaction. They are left holding their own toxicity with nowhere to put it. Picture a negotiation. One man is sweating, talking fast, desperate to close the deal. The other man is leaning back, calm, taking his time. Who has the power? Who is the prize? The calm man is the expensive man. Machiavelli knew that a prince who loses his temper loses his authority. Anger is a confession. It tells everyone that someone else had the power to disturb your peace. Do not give that power away. Treat your emotions like gold in a vault. Do not hand them out to every person who comes knocking. If someone tries to provoke you, look at them with curiosity, not anger. Look at them the way a scientist looks at something interesting happening in a lab. Observe it, then walk away. This kind of detachment is terrifying to manipulative people. They rely on your reactions. They need you to respond to them. Cancel that. Become invisible to their drama. When you are emotionally expensive, people are careful around you. Not because you are aggressive, but because they cannot read you. They have to work to understand you. And the more energy they put into figuring you out, the more valuable you become to them. If someone has spent months trying to earn your respect, trying to understand you, trying to get close to you, they are not going to just walk away. They have invested too much. You have become their most valuable asset. Phase 5, the power of walking away. The ultimate sign of a luxury item is that it doesn't need you to buy it. Ferrari does not run ads begging you to buy their cars. They do not care if you buy one or not. Someone else will, and if not, the car sits there looking beautiful, holding its value perfectly. The free man is needy. He needs the job. He needs the girl. He needs to be invited to the party. And because he needs all of these things, he has no negotiating power at all. In the book, Never Split the Difference, Chris Voss teaches that neediness kills a negotiation. The moment the other side senses that you have to have this deal, the price drops immediately. To be expensive, you have to build the ability to walk away. You have to build a life where no single person or opportunity can hold you hostage. This is what Machiavelli meant when he said a prince should rely on his own strength, not the strength of others. If your financial survival depends entirely on one boss, you are cheap. You are trapped. If your emotional survival depends entirely on one person, you are cheap. You are dependent. You have to spread your power. Build skills that are rare. Build a wide network. Build a mind that can stand on its own. When you know deep in your gut that you can walk away from any situation and still be completely fine, you become dangerous. You talk differently. You carry yourself differently. You are not bluffing. You are simply stating your terms. This is my price. This is my standard. Meet it, or I walk. And you have to actually mean it. The free man stays in bad situations because he is scared to be alone. The expensive man leaves because he knows his own company is worth more than bad company. The free man accepts low pay because he is scared of having no job. The expensive man quits because he knows his skills will take him somewhere better. This willingness to destroy the deal is exactly what makes the deal happen on your terms. It tells the world you are not desperate. You are selecting. When you stop needing people, they start needing you. It is the strange irony of desire. We want the cat that ignores us, not the dog that jumps all over us. Be the cat. Sit up high. Watch the world go by. Clean your paws. Let them come to you with the treats. And even then, maybe you take them. Maybe you do not. That is the posture of someone with real value. We have covered the outside moves, the velvet rope, the silence, the walk away. But all of these are just tactics. And tactics stop working eventually if you are empty on the inside. You cannot fake being expensive forever. If there is nothing real behind the image, it will crack. The real price will come out. To truly become the prize, you have to change what you actually believe about yourself. You have to change the currency you trade in, because there is one final trap that keeps you cheap. It is the desire for fairness. You think the world should be fair. You think if you work hard, you should be rewarded. Machiavelli is laughing at you. The world is not fair. The world is a marketplace, and the price is about to go up. Are you ready for it? Phase 6, the Machiavellian move. Absence increases honor. There is a rhythm to power. It is not a steady hum. It is a pulse. The free man is a flat line. He is always there, consistent, boring, predictable. The expensive man is a heartbeat. He is present, then he is gone. He engages, then he pulls back. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene talks about Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. This is the advanced version of the velvet rope. Once you have shown your value, once you have them interested, you must pull back. You must create a gap. Why? Because human imagination is more powerful than reality. When you are physically with someone, they see your flaws. They see the stain on your shirt. They hear you stumble over your words. You become human. When you are absent, you become an idea. And ideas are perfect. When you disappear, people start filling the silence with their own thoughts about you. They wonder what you are doing. They wonder who you are with. They wonder why you do not need them right now. That curiosity turns into something that looks a lot like admiration. He must be doing something important. He must be in high demand. You are basically reducing the supply of yourself on purpose. By cutting the supply, you spike the price. But this takes real nerves, because when you pull back, your own insecurity will start screaming. What if they forget me? What if they find someone else? Let them try. If they find someone else, you were never the diamond to begin with. You were just a backup option. Better to know that now. But usually, they will not find someone else. Usually, they will chase. Think of the artist who disappears for a year to work on an album. No posts, no interviews, just silence. When the album finally drops, the world stops everything. Think of the employee who never does overtime, never joins the gossip, and leaves right at 5. When he speaks in a meeting, the boss actually listens. Why? Because he is not part of the noise. Use this on purpose. If you have been too available in a relationship, pull back. Not with anger, never with anger, but with real purpose. Get genuinely busy. Get obsessed with a project. Let the texts sit for a few hours. Let the weekend belong to you. You are not playing games. You are fixing the exchange rate. You are reminding them that your presence is a privilege, not a right. A star that is always in the sky gets ignored. A comet that shows up once every 100 years is an event. Be the comet. Phase 7. Never split the difference. Not tolerating anything less than what you deserve. The free man compromises on everything. He wants $100. The boss offers $50. He takes $75 and actually thinks he won something. He wants loyalty. His partner offers mostly faithful. He accepts it and calls it love. He keeps lowering his standards because he is scared of losing the deal. To be expensive is to have zero tolerance for settling. This is where you become difficult, and this is where you earn real respect. Steve Jobs was famously difficult. He demanded perfection on everything. He would look at a circuit board that no one would ever see and say, "It is ugly, fix it." Was he annoying? Yes. Was he expensive? The most expensive person in the world. People actually want to work for the perfectionist. They want to be around the person with high standards because it makes them feel like they earned something real. If you accept garbage, you are a garbage can. If you demand excellence, you are a king. When you refuse to compromise on your core values, you show the world you are not desperate. I do not work on weekends. I do not put up with disrespect. I do not hang around liars. These are not requests. These are rules. When you draw a hard line, people will test it. They will push against it. They are checking if you are real or just pretending. If you hold the line, they will respect you. If you fold, they will own you. The expensive man is willing to lose the deal rather than lower his standard. And the funny thing is, because he is willing to lose the deal, he usually ends up getting exactly what he asked for. This also applies to how you treat yourself. It is about having high-quality habits. You cannot be expensive to others if you are cheap with yourself. If you eat garbage, sleep terribly, and fill your head with mindless content, you are telling your own mind that you are a low-value person. Upgrade yourself from the inside. Read books that challenge you. Train your body. Wear clothes that actually fit. Speak with care and precision. Treat yourself like something that needs premium fuel to run well. When you treat yourself with that kind of respect, the world starts following your lead. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. If you are always making jokes about what a mess you are, stop it. You are lowering your own price. You would not spray paint graffiti on a Ferrari. So stop spraying insults on your own character. Carry yourself with the weight of someone who matters. Not arrogance. Arrogance is loud. What you want is gravity, and gravity is completely silent. Phase 8, the luxury identity. Killing the bargain hunter inside you. We all have a bargain hunter living inside us. It is the voice that says, take the safe path. Do not make waves. Just be grateful for what you have. That voice is a survival instinct left over from our ancestors. It wants you to survive. It doesn't care at all if you actually thrive. To become expensive, you have to kill that bargain hunter. You have to build a luxury identity. This means switching your mindset from, can I get this to, is this even worthy of me? The free man walks into a room, hoping people will like him. The expensive man walks into a room and decides if he likes them. The whole dynamic is flipped. You are the one doing the choosing. This is not about thinking you are better than everyone. It is about knowing what fits you. A puzzle piece is not better than the other pieces. It just has its own specific shape. If it does not fit, you do not force it. When you stop trying to squeeze yourself into cheap slots, you start finding the right ones. This also requires a certain kind of honesty. Machiavelli suggested that sometimes you use the truth as a tool. The free man lies to keep things calm. He says it is fine when it is absolutely not fine. The expensive man uses the truth to cut through the nonsense. I do not like this idea. This is not working for me. I expect better than this. That kind of bluntness is rare. It is shocking to people. It is valuable. In a world full of fake politeness, the person who says what they actually think is a rare thing. People will trust you more because you are willing to say something uncomfortable. They know you are not just telling them what they want to hear. You become the trusted one, the real advisor in the room. And the real advisor is always the most valuable person there. Phase 9, the final price. Facing the void. Here is the last thing you have to pay to be expensive. You have to be willing to be misunderstood. You have to be willing to walk alone sometimes. The herd is free. Sheep are free. They move together. They feel safe. The tiger walks alone. The tiger is expensive. When you start applying all of this, when you put up the velvet rope, when you keep your silence, when you refuse to settle, people will react. Some will say you have changed. Some will call you selfish. Some will walk away. Let them go. This is the filtering process. You are sifting through sand to find gold. You have to let a lot of sand fall through your fingers to get there. The free man tries to hold on to every piece of sand. He is terrified of having an empty hand. The expensive man knows that the empty hand is simply ready to hold the gold. You have to get comfortable with the quiet space between who you were and who you are becoming. In that space, it is quiet. It is lonely sometimes, but that is exactly where you build something real. You are building a reputation. And a reputation is like a fortress. It takes time, one no at a time, one silence at a time. But once it is built, it lasts your whole life. People will hear about you before they even meet you. 3:10 a.m. They will already know he is not easy, but he is worth it. That is the whole goal. Not to be liked by everyone, but to be valued by the few who actually matter. To be the prize, to be expensive. You have a choice right now. You can go back to being free. Keep saying yes to everything. Keep giving yourself away until there is nothing left. You will be used and you will be forgotten. Or you can close the store, change the price tag, and never be cheap again. The world is a marketplace. Stop handing out free samples. Be rare. Be difficult. Be expensive. If this opened your eyes, subscribe because there is a lot more coming. Most people will scroll past, and that is exactly the point.